Amiga, today the chisme is piping hot. We're going to talk about something that nobody talks about. Mistakes. Yes, amiga, mistakes in business. So, if you are una mamá that tiene un small business or that's thinking about starting a small business, this one's for you. Now, para ti. Today is also the day that I am relaunching Pretty Girl Charm 2.0. Today is the day that I am relaunching Pretty Girl Charm Jewelry 2.0 alone without my best friend. And I feel that it is the best time to share all the mistakes and lessons that I learned in the past 3 years as a small business owner. Not all of them, because they were a lot. And I feel that Instagram is a highlight reel in life where we just don't share the ugly, the messy, and the mistakes. So, since I'm not a believer in gatekeeping anything y no me da pena, yo te voy a contar the top, I want to say 3 or 4 mistakes and lessons that I would learn in the past 3 years, so that you don't make those same mistakes, but you can learn those lessons that I learned from my mistakes. Bueno, take a seat because it's going to be fun. Te cuento. I think that the first and the biggest mistake that we made at the beginning of Pretty Girl Charm was thinking that if you will build it, they would come. Y te explico lo que significa eso. Okay. Te cuento una historia. Me and Sarah started Pretty Girl Charm en el año de We Don't Talk About Bruno, la pandemia in 2020. We were in the thick of it. I had always been making our kiddo necklace personally for friends. Te lo voy a mostrar, es este que está aquí. Ese necklace I started making for my friends as un regalito. And then, as I started doing regalitos como que era el cumpleaños, se lo regalaba a una amiga y esto y lo otro, people that would see my amigas wear them would be like, oh, where did you get them? And then be like, oh, es una amiga mía, but she doesn't do it, pero llámale, pregúntale de todas maneras, o me preguntaban como que, hey, mi hermana, mi tía, mi prima, whoever, mi mejor amiga vio the necklace that you gave me, can you please make it for me? And it was a brilliant, it was a magical coincidence that during the pandemic, I don't know why, I had a lot of people reach out to me to make them for them. I think because life just slowed down. Yo un día estaba en la casa de la mamá de Sara, que we were in the pool, and I was, like, las niñitas estaban taking a nap at that moment, y yo me senté a hablar con la mamá de Sara y Sara, and they have a huge living room, dining room table, y estaba yo ahí sentada haciendo estos collares. And Sarah's mom looks at me and she's like, oh my God, Lina, you should start doing this. You should start doing, what are you doing right now? No estás haciendo nada. Why don't you start doing this like as a business? And I started feeling very apprehensive. I'm like giving her a million excuses. She's like, I had before doing Pretty Girl Charm jewelry, I had done Pretty Girl Charm as a Etsy shop for personalized items como camisas, tumblers, and things like that. And I told her like, no, like I tried this once and it was so overwhelming. I'm really bad at the shipping and the logistics of everything. And she looked at Sarah, she's like, Sarita, you should start doing it with Lina. You can do the quote unquote boring stuff, and Lina can do the designing, the selling, and all these things, blah, blah. And at that moment in time, we both looked at each other and we're like, bueno, whatever, we're not doing anything. We're in the middle of like the world has come to a stop. Might as well do something fun that we enjoy. And that day we were like, okay, we're gonna start it. So that day, that week, I made a couple of those necklaces. I took pictures. I put them in our website. I changed the Instagram to be, Pretty Girl Charm, blah, 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 todas estas cosas. And then we opened our website and we put it out in the world. And we were so excited. We were so excited. It was going to be amazing. This necklace is super cute. People are asking about it. Like personally, people are asking about it. I've been making these for the past month for different people. And something super, 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 super funny happened. And it was that all we got from our website were crickets. Crickets, crickets, crickets. And we were like, okay, then I started to think, and I started telling Sara, like, maybe we thought that this necklace was cute, or that what we could do was cute y todo eso, but like, maybe it's not. Maybe como que it was just a one-off of people that had told me personally to make them for them. But it's not really something that really people want. It's not trendy, all these things. And Sara was like, oh my God, that's so weird. Like, it's so cute. So after we had that conversation the next morning, I sat down, I journal in the morning, and I pray. I wake up very early, like at 4:45 every day, so that I can have alone time with myself. And I pray and I journal. And I started journaling and praying about this specific situation. And for some reason, something told me, oí la vocecita de Dios diciéndome como que you're heading in the right direction. You just have to figure out a way to bring people in. Like, si Moama no va a la montaña va a Moama. Type of situation. Yeah. I was journaling and praying about this, and I felt in my heart like God diciéndome, you are in the right direction. You just have to figure out a way to find your people. And that really made me feel like maybe it's not the necklace, and maybe it's not me, and maybe it's not what we're trying to bring to the world. Maybe it's just that we're not really talking about it. I had been out of social media since 2017, so 3 years, because of something that had happened personally in my relationship at that time. I had not been on social media at all. Like, I wouldn't scroll social media, I wouldn't post on social media for 3 years. Ese es un chisme que hablamos después de lo que pasó ahí. Pero 3 years que yo no llevaba sin hacer social media at all. Like, I didn't consume it, I didn't use it or anything of that. But during that praying, something told me como que, Lina, maybe you should deep dive into this. Like, maybe, you have to talk about it. And that's when I made the decision, and I told Sara, I'm going to start posting on Instagram every single day. And we did. Every single day. That was July 18th, 2020. We had opened in March. We had officially kind of like opened like in April, end of March, beginning of April. But I don't know if you've noticed, we celebrate our anniversary July 18th. And that is because that was the day that I opened Pretty Girl Charm to the world. I started posting every single day. Every single day I was talking about our business, and slowly but surely people started coming. So, amiga, te cuento todo esto because we're under this impression sometimes that if you build it, they would come. Pero la realidad es que no, amiga. No. What you have designed, created, a service that you provide might be amazing and life-changing, but if you're not talking about it to every single person that you know, shouting it out of the rooftops, it's never going to go where it needs to go. Nobody's going to want it if you're not talking about it. Like, how am I going to want something that I don't know exists? That was the first big mistake that we made. It took us 2 months to do that, but obviously once we started posting on Instagram, I quickly started learning that I didn't know everything. Which brings me to my second mistake. And I feel that I made this mistake when I did the personalization shop in Etsy, where when I faced certain obstacles, I just blamed myself and didn't really wasn't curious enough to seek learning of whatever I faced at the moment. When we started doing PGC jewelry and we started posting every day, I started to realize that maybe I had been out of consuming or using social media for so long that I was like, you know what? I don't know everything. Like, how am I supposed to optimize this if I don't really know? And it started getting me very curious as to how to do this properly or how to do this where I could maximize it. And I started learning, deep dive como una loca, rabbit hole, all things social media, all things digital marketing, all things email marketing, all things building a website, like todas las cosas que I could learn, I voraciously took it and started learning. And to this day, I am an advocate, and I cannot say this, o sea, like el corazón me palpita where I know that I don't know everything and that I need to learn every single something new voy a aprender todos los días. Like, for example, ahora mismo I'm in a rabbit hole of AI, and who would have thought 3 years ago when I started learning about digital marketing and social media that 3 years later I would be talking about, trying to learn about AI. Like, it's just crazy because life and technology and consumers and businesses and the world moves so fast and there's so much things to learn that you can never stop learning. So learn from my mistakes, always be learning, always be wanting to be curious of how you can make better decisions for your business. And it's very important that you allocate either, I heard on a podcast, either you allocate time or you allocate money for you to be able to do that and continue to grow. And what I mean by that is either you do it like I did at the beginning, where you take all your time and you learn it yourself, or if you're more progressed, your business is bigger, you don't have time to learn all the things, you find somebody and you invest money for somebody to learn for you, or to give it to you ya así masticadito, so that you don't have to go in a rabbit hole like I did, taking all the courses, taking all the courses, or reading all the books. So you do one or the other for the learning part. Either you invest your time or you invest your money to learn, but never stop learning. And I think that was a huge thing, because it also gave us the ability of looking at mistakes more as lessons to learn. And it really helped us understand that if we didn't make the mistakes, we were never going to know how to deal with them. Like, had we not made a mistake sending the wrong order to a customer once, we would have never known how we were gonna mend that situation. So once it happened the first time, then we came up with a roadmap, and we're like, okay, if this ever happens again, this is how we're gonna deal with it. So if it happened again, we had the ability to do that. So I think that really helped over the last 3 years. Just like, for example, in the learning that we had in the past 3 years, at the beginning, I was super hyper focused on, social media and all these things. And I think it was like 6 months in that I started to learn about email marketing and the importance of email marketing. And I learned that I had not been collecting emails, and I had not created an email list. I had been 6 or 7 months of continuing to grow through Instagram and getting orders through our website, but not really capturing emails, and what a huge opportunity there was there. And I went in after learning the importance of email marketing. I'm like, A mí nadie me dijo, of course not, pero ya lo aprendí. Let me go in, and we changed our website. We included email capturing. We enticed people to leave their emails with a small discount that we could provide so that we can then contact that customer outside of social media. Those are the type of things where you don't really know, and if you're not open to learning, you will never figure out. Let me tell you, after I filed for divorce in 2022, the only reason we survived a whole year with me going through that difficult period where I wasn't showing up in Instagram that much was through our email list, being able to reach our customers through our email list. So the power, and it would be another, like a humongous other episode of email list. But yes, had I not been open to learning about email lists, that would have never happened. And maybe we would have never scaled our business to be a 6-figure business, which is huge. And I feel that it's attributed to always wanting to learn, making mistakes, pivoting and learning, and continuously wanting to learn. And sometimes learning comes in the form of through other people and their experiences, like me sharing this with you. Which brings me to my third huge lesson and mistake that we learned during the past 3 years, which is asking for help. Te cuento. I'm a millennial mom and a Capricorn, which means that me asking for help is equivalent to me almost poking my eye out. O sea, literalmente, it's equivalent in the in the anxiety that it gives me thinking about it. But I've learned through these past 3 years that asking for help is one of the biggest things that you can do for your business. And this is the reason why. It's going to save you time. It's going to save you energy. And it's going to help you build relationships with people that are stronger. Overall, think about it. Cuando alguien te pide un favor a ti, when somebody asks for help from you, there's something in you that makes you feel good, that you're being able to provide a hand for your friend, be of service to them. At least eso es lo que yo siento cuando a mí alguien me pide un favor. But it's weird because cuando yo tengo que ask for help, I feel that I'm a burden, which is the most ridiculous lie that my brain tells myself. But that's how we have been built to think. Asking for help is a burden. Asking for help is, an inconvenience for other people. And let me tell you that it's not. Like, unless you're asking them like to do something that it is really out there, most of the time people are very willing to help especially if it's something in their zone of genius. And what I mean by that is this. For example, the first time that we had a really big help, that we asked for a really big help, was when mi primita was here from New York. She lives in New York. My primita, but like literalmente, she's almost my age. Was here in Miami visiting from New York with her boyfriend, and her boyfriend is a finance bro. Not really. Él es super nice, but he's in finance, and he does financial, what financial people do, which I don't really understand half of it. But he helps companies get organized to get funding and, streamlining processes, looking at where they can cut expenses. And the day that they came to visit our office, imagínate, ya llevábamos casi 2 años like a year and a half going, because it was in our office, in our PGC office in Pinecrest, where they came, my cousin and her boyfriend came in, and Sara and I were talking about discounts and where should we give them, and if it should be a percentage or a buy one, get one, what works better, and all these things. And, we were talking about this, and he came in, he was looking at us como si tuviéramos 3 cabezas. He was probably thinking, estas mujeres, how are they running this thing, and who allowed them to, to do this on their own? Pero he said, like, have you guys done an analysis of what it would be, like the differences? And we looked at him like, what are you talking about? Like, where do I find that and how do I get that? And he's like, oh, you've never done it. I'm like, no, can you help us with that? And his face completely lit. He's like, of course. Again, that's his zone of genius. He was excited to help us because he was sharing something that he is passionate about. So he sat there and like in 5 minutes, he made an Excel formula where you could plug in different prices, different percentages. You could also compare if instead of doing percentages, you did buy one, get one half off or free or this or that. And he made it like plug and play. Amiga, all it took was me asking, oh, tú nos ayudas con eso? That saved us so much time, energy, and effort because I could have potentially, eventually found out that that's something that we could do on our own. Pero quién sabe how long it would take me to make that formulation or how wrong I would have done it or how many times I would have done it and, deep dove into Excel and how to do that calculation. So it literally saved us time, energy, and effort. Plus, it also saved us money because the other route would have been, we would have had, which Sarah and I had already talked about it, which would be, we had to have hired somebody to look up our prices and our profit margins and see we were doing it correctly. And that would have meant us spending a sizable amount of money because, as you know, finance bros are not cheap. It's expensive for somebody to come in and do that. And it got solved just simply by asking for help. After that, I told Sarah, a mí no me va a dar pena. No me va a dar pena preguntar for help. Tú sabes, without being una descarada, obviamente. Pero I ask for help when it comes to business, I ask for help for everything. Now, that being said, we provide help to whoever asks us for help because it literally can change your business, your life in 2 seconds. So that's why we're always been very open. Cuando nos mandan DMs como que, oh, how did you do this on Shopify? Or how did you figure out to use Shopify? Or how did you start using your Instagram? Or how do you come up with XYZ? We are always the first those are the DMs that we love answering. And we are I particularly am very passionate about helping because, you get what you receive. And the fact that I got that humongous help at that moment really changed how we operated and how we were able to really, drill into our profit margins and what really that year took us to a 6-figure business. So don't be afraid to ask for help. I know it's difficult, but don't feel that you can't. Always ask for help. It's going to save you time, energy, effort, and money. And really, really, people enjoy helping other people. Good people enjoy helping other people. And I know that you're surrounding yourself with good people because you are a good person, amiga. So don't be afraid to ask for help. If you need help from me, mándame un DM. I'm here to do all the helping. Es más, last year we started during September, which was Women's Small Business Month. We started hosting one-on-ones with women in small business that wanted us to talk about something, anything, whether it was social media or Shopify or how to make jewelry or how to, how we dealt with things in our business. And through that little project that we started in September, I am now managing 3 social media the social media of 3 different small businesses, and I've helped them scale and grow their business, which is insane. And all because of help that we started offering other people, because we are all interconnected, and asking for help and giving help is invaluable when you're a small business owner, because sometimes it feels very lonely. So, amiga, I can go on and on and on, but I think that those 3 mistakes and lessons were the top ones that we've made that have really created an impact in how we've navigated life as business owners. And today, I think have been the biggest impact in how PGC is today. And I really wanted to share them with you because today this episode's getting launched and I'm getting ready to reopen our website as PGC 2.0. Me doing this alone without my best friend, which is extremely exciting but also nerve-wracking. And I felt that I needed to hear these things as much as I wanted to share them with you, because I know that what's coming forward is going to be more mistakes that I will make so that I can learn valuable lessons. And I know that I'm going to need to ask for help, that I'm going to need to yell it from the rooftops, and that I'm going to need to always be learning. I hope that this helped you in any way. And if it did, send me a DM. I would love to hear from you. And if you have any questions, any help that I can provide you, DM me, text me, whatever. I am here to, I am an open book, as you know. And I really, really, really hope that if you are a mom that's looking to start a small business, no matter what it is, que no te dé miedo. You know, if God put it in your heart, it means that you should be doing it and sharing it with the world. And I hope that this little episode can help you in any way. Claim your dream, amiga. Share your magic always. Te quiero.